Hello, it's Mr. Intermarket Analysis bringing you a review of the German DAX for Wednesday's trading. Okay, Wednesday the 4th of December, if I'm correct, or has the time changed? What time are we on now? Let me just have a look. Okay, and yes, we are on the 3rd of December today. Just to okay, so yes, stock market rally, or should I say stock market sell-off today, has made me lose my marbles. Okay, so yes, 11:15, and it is the 3rd of December. Okay, so going into Wednesday's trading, the 4th of December 2013, what's going to happen to the German DAX? Okay, so let's try and decipher, understand, and give you an insight there. Okay, so this is my website, folks. Definitely go and visit it. Okay, register at my website. You can follow me on Google Plus. Certainly subscribe to my YouTube channel. What else can I say? Okay, so inter-market-analysis.com. I post my charts on there on a daily basis. I post my videos up on there. You can have a look at the mentoring program that I have for new traders wanting to learn, whether you're intermediate level or you're a beginner. I teach everybody there. Okay, so live analysis service as well. I charge £50 a month for an insight into my trading and my philosophy in terms of intermarket analysis, carrying on with Lewis Mendelssohn's work and Mr. John J. Murphy's work of intermarket analysis. Okay, that's the methodology in which I trade the markets, and I have been doing for the last 7 years, running my live analysis service that averages 200 points a week. Okay, so YouTube channel details are on there. You can follow me on Twitter, trader Adil, trader_Adil at okay, so at Twitter. Okay, I've got a few. Obviously, I've got videos in there. Certainly have a look, and I have a chat room, live chat room below. So certainly come and join me on the live chat room, and I try and give live commentary, etc. As you can see here. I've got a lot of traders in there that we discuss setups, etc. Any questions you have, come down. I'm always in there 24/7. So I'll be looking at the Asian markets till 2-3 in the morning today. So certainly you're more than welcome to pop in there and ask a question whenever you want. You've got my email address on there as well, daytrader@intermarketanalysis.com. Certainly email me with any questions, etc. Always willing to help out there and help individuals understand and trying to decipher these markets. Okay, so yes, what's happening with the German DAX? Spectacular sell-off today, absolutely spectacular. Okay, one hell of a sell-off down to gap fill. Who would have thought, folks? Who would have thought? The high was at 9,420 and the low pivot low was 9,222, and that's almost a 200-point drop in a day. Now, if that's not a rug pull, what is? Okay, even Aladdin would have been impressed with that. Okay, so yes, one hell of a sell-off down to gap fill. Okay, we'll see exactly what transpires on the morrow, but basically the bears are in control. Okay, they're definitely not happy with Santa this year. Especially the Germans, and I think they're certainly fed up. So anyway, next few days definitely expect to bounce that gap fill. Certainly some short covering going into there, obviously with a 200-point drop. Okay, obviously a bear flag situation may well transpire and play out. Okay, so some consolidation here, and obviously next gap that we need to close will be below, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, so it's unbelievable, it's amazing. Hey folks, last week light volume, float up, and then boom, okay, they dumped this market hard. I didn't expect a 200-point drop in a week. I'll be the first one to put my hands up. Okay, and there's certainly no data that was telling us that. Okay, or telling us otherwise. So certainly keep an eye out for this. Even this trend line here was negated. So it is unbelievable, amazing sell-off. Okay, so let's try and understand what's happening here. Okay, so again, Asian markets were higher overnight, so there was no alarm bells there. Okay, the economic data itself was relatively. All we can say is that, oh yes, we agree there was deflation concerns because the inflation data did come out weaker than expected, but then that was counter-argued with the fact that we had the ECB talking about QE. Okay, so whenever you get deflation, etc., you've got QE concerns. Or not concerns, QE is beneficial for stock prices, etc., and that's one of the reasons why you can argue last week we kept it floating higher. Okay, and doesn't seem to be working this week. Okay, so even yesterday they failed to dump the market. They certainly lured everybody in. Usually January Mondays is the first week back, and investors obviously certainly pour back, or retail investors pour back into the market, and they dumped it on them. Okay, so let's have a look and see exactly what happens now. Okay, then so let's go to our 60-minute chart, see if we can get a better insight with regards to the German DAX. Okay, okie dokie then. So let's have a look what's happened here then. Let's have a look at the damage on a 60-minute chart. Okay then, so yep, so I did explain, well, basically I explained to subscribers there was a channel here, and we eventually broke it. Okay, so once that channel was broken, I did expect this support level here, this channel, well, this potential trend line to hold. That failed to hold, and the market just continuously sold off. Unbelievable sell-off on the 60-minute chart. Okay, at the moment we had previous resistance equals support, even that got negated, and eventually we went and closed the gap. Even this trend line here was negated, so almost every support level that you could potentially even begin to fathom was broken. And we had a support level there that was broken, previous resistance equals support there, that was broken. Even pivot S3 was negated. How it's not often that I see a market break pivot S3 and double the I mean, you almost double the actual extension on the S3. Unbelievable sell-off, unbelievable. Down to gap fill, so a 200-point drop within a day. Nothing is impossible, as I say. Okay, so let's have a look at the 10-minute chart now. Okay, so 10-minute chart, we're into gap fill, so there's your gap fill level. Okay, previous resistance equals support there. We failed to even hold this gap here. We did have a little rally. We had a rally of about 30-40 points, and eventually the market sold off quite hard. So I mean, I tried a DAX long twice today. Unfortunately, twice I was stopped out, so that's not a good sign today. That wasn't not too good for me. Though my best trades today were the Aussie long. The two Aussie longs certainly did me well, did me proud. Okay, so just looking at what we can do here, or try and decipher here. To be honest with you, that's the only thing I can muster there in terms of the actual trend line, or if there is a trend line there. You had a mini H&S pattern, really. I mean, you've got a H&S head and shoulders formation. This 10-minute chart, I expected that to fail, and I was looking for a short squeeze higher, failed again. Almost every pattern failed today, unbelievable. The bears were really in control. Okay, so this was a H&S here, 9256, 9287, 30-point drop, 9256, 9226, so expect a short squeeze. Okay, so basically the thesis, or not thesis, so I should say summary, DAX, I'm a bull. Okay, we're into gap fill support on the 10-minute chart. We've overextended on the downside. Expect a thrust higher to 9270, potentially a short squeeze higher back up to the 9300 level. Okay, 60-minute chart. Okay, we're into 200 MA support here at 9185. I don't expect the market to go below 9185 unless there's something spectacular that occurs. Okay, especially with the carrot dangling with regards to QE. Okay, so eventually we are going to close this gap at 9055, but given the fact that the Nasdaq has held its gap, certainly expect the DAX to move higher. Okay, so that's something that I'm looking forward to. Okay, so yes, that's basically the conclusion. Okay, so if we do come back up, we retest this channel or trend line here, will be resistance. So resistance levels are going to be 9320, 9280. Okay, on the upside, so certainly keep an eye out for that. Definitely expecting a short squeeze higher going into tomorrow. Any pattern that you can spot here, nothing really, folks, other than this on the 60-minute chart, to be honest with you. The 10-minute chart, not much there either at present, other than the fact that you got gap fill support, and we are looking to move higher. Actually, there is one pattern, and this pattern is very hypothetical right at present, but I do expect this to transpire, so keep an eye out for this. Okay, so there's your neckline, so watch out for this. Mark this on your charts and watch it transpire. Definitely expect this to transpire, given the fact that the market has had a spectacular sell-off. Left shoulder here, gap is your head. Okay, we come back up, we retest this, create a right shoulder, boom, up we go. Okay, so watch out for that. Okay, certainly watch out for that. Given the fact that the DAX hasn't left any unfilled gaps above, there's really no argument for the DAX to go higher. Excuse me. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, so definitely looking for a move higher here, a thrust higher, possibly up to the 200 MA 9370 level before the next sell-off. Okay, so yes, conclusion, daily chart, yes, the bears are in control, but short term, we are due a short squeeze given the fact that we had a 200-point drop. But having said that, if the Nasdaq goes and makes a new high, then expect this DAX juggernaut to retrace that full bearish engulfing candle very quickly. Okay, especially with the fact that you got ECB QE in the background as well. Okay, folks, risk on, risk off, wax on, wax off. Goodbye.